Taiwan People's Party expels 2 members, suspends former campaign manager after review meeting. CO2 leak at Hailong wind farm sends 14 workers to hospital, 3 in cardiac arrest resuscitated. AEI scholar suggests Taiwan could use Ukraine's strategy and threaten Chinese dams to deter invasion. Luxury superyacht sinks off Sicily. Venezuelan across the world protest presidential election results. China's youth unemployment soars above 17% in July. Indian doctors demand tougher laws. The next world's tallest building could be a 3,000-foot high battery.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, August 21st, and here are your top stories. In local news, the Taiwan's People's Party held a Central Review Committee meeting yesterday at 3 p.m. After nearly 4 hours of discussion, Chairman Li Weihua announced that Huang Sansan, the former campaign manager, would be suspended for 3 years. The committee will continue investigating, and if further evidence or illegal activities are found, additional action will be taken. Li Wenzhong and Duan Muzhen have been expelled from the party. Yesterday around 10 a.m., a suspected carbon dioxide leak from a gas cylinder occurred at the Hailong offshore wind farm construction site in Changhua Coastal Industrial Park. Police and fire personnel responded, sending 14 workers to the hospital. 5 were unconscious, and 3 of them in Oka were resuscitated. The remaining 9 who were unconscious were also treated. The cause of the incident remained under investigation. Michael Rubin from AEI published an article in the National Security Journal analyzing Ukraine's resistance to Russia. He suggested Taiwan could learn from Ukraine's reverse occupation of Kursk and even threaten missile strikes on Chinese dams to deter an invasion. And in global news, Italian officials and sources familiar with the matter said a British tech magnate and several other people are missing after a luxury superyacht sank near Sicily's main city, Palermo, during a violent storm that killed at least 1 person. Mike Lynch, who was regularly described in UK media as Britain's Bill Gates, was not among those rescued. The sources, who asked to not be named due to the sensitivity of the situation, added that Angela Bucharest, Lynch's wife, had been plucked from the waters of the Italian island.
Lynch was among 6 people who were unaccounted for. The Associated Press quoted Salvo Cosina of Sicily's Civil Protection Agency as saying, "They were in the wrong place at the wrong time." Cosina also confirmed that Bucharest had survived. The 184-foot sailboat, named the Bayesian, sank due to a violent storm off Palermo at around 5 a.m. local time with 22 people on board. 15 people were rescued and 6 passengers were missing. American, British, and Canadian citizens were among the missing. Italy's National Fire Department said in a statement that divers, a motorboat, and a helicopter had been deployed to help with the search.
Venezuelans across the world have responded to a call from their country's political opposition and taken to the streets to defend the faction's claim to victory over President Nicolas Maduro in last month's disputed presidential election. The demonstration in Tokyo, Sydney, Mexico City, and several other places were an effort by the main opposition coalition to make visible what they insist is the real outcome of the election. Protesters also called on governments to throw their support behind candidate Edmundo Gonzalez and express solidarity with Venezuelans who are fearful of speaking against Maduro and his allies amid a brutal repression campaign.
As thousands of Venezuelans waved the national flag, opposition leader Maria Corina Machado made her way through the streets of Caracas on a truck, shouting "courage" and "freedom." Addressing a crowd, she declared it was time that every vote is respected. Earlier, Gonzalez wrote on his X account, "They will not be able to cover up the reality of July 28. We won resoundingly." He did not attend the demonstration in Caracas. In Mexico City's monument to the revolution, hundreds young and old alike loudly repeated the chants for "freedom, freedom." They then screamed, "Maduro out, Maduro out," as motorists honked their horns while passing by.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, China's youth unemployment rate soared above 17% in July, reaching the highest level since the new record-keeping system began in December. The latest data update on Monday showed that the unemployment rate for people in China aged 16 to 24 and not in school rose to 17.1% last month, up from 13.2% in June. China had suspended reports of the youth unemployment rate for much of the second half of last year as it reassessed its calculation methods.
The new jobless rate for young people excludes those still in school, as more individuals in China pursue higher education amid a more competitive job market. The final figure reported under the previous calculation method showed unemployment for people aged 16 to 24 reached a record high of 21.3% in June 2023. The urban unemployment rate across all age categories edged up to 5.2% in July from 5% in June. Statistics Bureau spokesperson Liu Aihua attributed the rise in the urban jobless rate in July to graduation season, while acknowledging overall employment pressures, including structural challenges where businesses struggle to find suitable workers.
Hundreds of doctors protested near India's health ministry on Monday, demanding stringent laws to protect healthcare workers from violence and seeking justice for their colleague who was raped and killed at a state-run hospital. The protesting doctors, holding placards with messages such as "Justice delayed is justice denied," were stopped by police as they attempted to set up free outpatient service outside the ministry in New Delhi. Doctors and medics across India have held protests, candlelight marches, and temporarily refused care for non-emergency patients.
The doctors say the assault highlights the vulnerability of healthcare workers in hospitals and medical campuses across India. They are demanding stronger laws, including making any attack on on-duty medics an offense without the possibility of bail, increasing security at hospitals, and creating safe spaces for them to rest. The government has asked the doctors to return to work and stated that it will set up a committee to address their demands. The incident has also intensified focus on the chronic issue of violence against women. A police volunteer working at the hospital has been arrested and charged with the crime, but the victim's family alleges it was a gang rape involving more people. Federal investigators are handling the case.
Humans have long built towering structures to showcase the power of empires, rulers, religion, and corporation. Today, more tall buildings are popping up than ever before. But skyscrapers could soon have a new purpose: storing renewable energy. One of the biggest hurdles to a power grid dominated by clean energy is the intermittency of some renewable sources. Sometimes clouds roll in when solar energy is needed, or the wind stops blowing and turbines can't generate power. Other times, the sun and wind produce more electricity than required.
Storage is crucial for balancing generation and consumption. A combination of technologies, from various forms of batteries to other energy storage methods, will be needed to increase capacity. At the end of May, Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, SOM, the architecture and engineering firm behind some of the world's tallest buildings, announced a partnership with the energy storage company Energy Vault to develop new gravity energy storage solutions. This includes a skyscraper design that uses a motor powered by grid electricity to elevate giant blocks when energy demand is low, and store the electricity as potential energy. When needed, the blocks are lowered, releasing the stored energy to be converted into electricity.
The answer for yesterday was C, underscored. The teacher underscored the key points of the lesson to ensure everyone understood. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of the next world's tallest building could be a 3,000-foot high battery. Number 1, skyscraper, 摩天大楼. The city's skyline is dominated by towering skyscrapers, each one representing a different era of architect innovation. Number 2, showcase, 展示. The art gallery is set to showcase a collection of contemporary painting from emerging artists. Number 3, intermittency, 间接性. The intermittency of renewable energy sources like wind and solar requires advanced storage solution to ensure a steady power supply. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.